Bryana Bongolan, who goes by Bana. Now, Bana's allegation that she testified to is that Sean Combs dangled her over the 17th floor balcony of Cassie Ventura's home.
You can tell she is not happy about being there. She also was granted immunity for her testimony.
She partied with Diddy and Cassie. She delivered drugs to Diddy. She testified she did drugs with Diddy occasionally.
Serious drugs, too. This is cocaine, ketamine, very serious party drugs.
That's what defense counsel is saying. One, did it happen in a hotel? Did it happen in an apartment? And she is indicating on the stand that it happened in an apartment. But in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit, she mentions this incident and she says it happened in a hotel.
In a dramatic day in federal court, new testimony has unfolded in the criminal trial of music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs. Prosecutors told the jury they are trying to prove that Combs and his associates ran a criminal enterprise using threats, violence, and kidnapping to force women into drug-fueled group sex parties known as freak-offs. Combs, who faces charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and related offenses, has pleaded not guilty to all allegations. CNN reports that on Wednesday, June 4, 2025, the prosecution called two key witnesses to the stand, a forensic video expert and a young woman who says Combs once dangled her over a 17th floor balcony. Today, we heard some deeply disturbing testimony, the anchor might say. CNN's coverage notes that Combs has denied all wrongdoing, and his defense has challenged the motives of those testifying. As the trial presses on, every piece of evidence and testimony is under intense scrutiny. One of the first witnesses was forensic video expert Frank Piazza, called to explain crucial surveillance footage. Piazza testified that the 2016 hotel video showing Combs attacking his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in Los Angeles is authentic and unaltered.
This cell phone video of a video, was shot on an iPhone 6, 30 frames a second. It was not edited or tampered with, I found.
Did you reach a conclusion?
They are accurate.
And the surveillance videos?
There were issues. The clock was set to play 30 frames a second, but this was 22 frames, so it played faster. We had to account for that.
How?
We counted the frames and used software to correct the timing.
Were the surveillance videos altered?
No.
So they are 5 minutes off?
My notes told me there was a 5-minute, 55-second difference and another offset of 5 seconds.
Do these videos reliably and accurately depict what happened?
Yes.
He explained that the original video was accidentally sped up by a technical error, so he slowed it to real-time speed for the jury. Crucially, Piazza said he found no evidence that the footage had been manually edited or tampered with. The surveillance footage was not manipulated in any way. CNN reported Piazza's conclusion. This video has been a centerpiece of the trial. The jury has already watched that hotel fight footage at least 8 times. At the prosecution's request, Piazza compiled a video montage highlighting Combs' actions, as well as those of Ventura and a responding security officer. His explanation, that the hotel's cameras were motion-activated and out of sync, causing the odd timestamps, helped clarify why the video initially looked sped up. In short, the expert testimony bolstered the prosecution's case that the surveillance tape is reliable evidence. Key points from Piazza's testimony. The March 2016 hotel surveillance video of Combs and Ventura was authentic and unaltered. He slowed the footage to real time to correct a technical speed issue. That footage has been shown repeatedly. The jury watched it at least 8 times. Piazza also analyzed related videos, cell phone clips and sex videos, recovered from Ventura's ex, some of which were entered into evidence. In other words, the forensic witness told the court there was no trickery with the key video evidence. This expert's testimony set the stage for the dramatic eyewitness accounts that followed. Next, the jury heard from Bryana "Bana" Bongolan, a longtime friend of Cassie Ventura. Her testimony was chilling. Bongolan took the stand as the prosecution's star witness and described a terrifying encounter with Combs from September 2016. She testified that on that night, Combs banged on the door of Ventura's Los Angeles apartment, demanding entry. To protect Ventura, Bongolan said she hid her girlfriend in the bathroom before going out onto the apartment's balcony herself. She told the court she was on the balcony trying to stay casual when, she says, Combs came up behind her. What happened next was horrifying. Grabbing, Combs grabbed Bongolan from behind. He first clutched her chest, then lifted her by the armpits. dangling, he held her over the edge of a 17th floor balcony. Anger. While holding her suspended, Combs repeatedly screamed at her, "Do you know what the you did?" Bongolan said she had no idea what he was referring to and screamed back that she didn't know. Release. After roughly 15 seconds, Combs threw her onto the balcony furniture. Bongolan testified in her own words. "He came up behind me, grabbed my chest, and held me over the railing. He was yelling, 'Do you know what the fuck you did?'" After she was thrown down, Bongolan said she noticed a painful bruise on her leg and aches in her back and neck. Photographs of those injuries, a bruise on her leg and bandages on her back and neck, were shown to the jury. More than the physical pain, the psychological scars were clear. Bongolan told the court she now suffers night terrors and paranoia, saying, "I have night terrors and paranoia and scream in my sleep." She emphasized that those symptoms began only after the balcony incident and not before. It was a traumatic scene for the courtroom to consider. Bongolan also testified about what happened in the days following the attack. She said that 1 or 2 days later, someone from Combs's camp FaceTimed her. In that conversation, she recalls pleading several times, "I don't want any problems with you." She told jurors she never went to the police because she was simply too scared. Importantly, Bongolan had already filed a civil lawsuit against Combs over this very incident. She confirmed in court that she is seeking $10 million in that suit, but added she is not pursuing a payout from the criminal trial. "I wanted to seek justice for what happened to me," she said. This statement underscored that Bongolan's motive, she claimed, was retribution for the trauma, not profit. Summary of the balcony incident testimony: Bongolan. Combs banged on the door of Ventura's apartment. Bongolan went to the balcony to stay safe. Combs grabbed her from behind and held her over the 17th floor railing, screaming at her. He dropped her onto the balcony furniture after about 15 seconds. She was left with a bruise on her leg and back, neck pain. Photos of her injuries were shown to the jury. The incident has left her with lasting trauma. She told the court she now has night terrors and paranoia. She said she never reported it to police because she was scared, and later told Combs's people she didn't want any problems. Bongolan has sued Combs for $10 million over the attack, saying she only wants justice. This testimony, of a woman dangling by her armpits from a high-rise railing, was perhaps the most dramatic moment of the day. The courtroom was silent as jurors considered her account. Prosecutors presented her as yet another woman who suffered abuse in Combs's circle. Attorneys for Combs had earlier issued a statement outright denying this allegation, but in court, Bongolan stood firm. Bongolan's testimony did not end with the balcony fall. She went on to describe a pattern of intimidation and drug use in Combs's orbit. Under the immunity granted to her testimony, she revealed other frightening encounters. Late-night invasions. Bongolan said Combs would frequently show up at Ventura's apartment in the middle of the night banging on the door. Knife incident. On one occasion, she said, Combs stormed in and threw a kitchen knife at Ventura. Ventura grabbed the knife and threw it back at him, luckily without injuring him. Bongolan testified that she did not call the police after that event because I was just scared of Puff, referring to Combs's nickname. Visible injuries. Bongolan testified she often saw signs of abuse. She recalled a FaceTime call around March 2016 where Ventura appeared with a black eye. Bongolan said she quietly expressed concern, apologizing if Ventura had been hurt. Verbal threats. In another episode early in 2016, Bongolan and Ventura were at a beach photo shoot when Combs approached Bongolan and snarled, "I'm the devil and I could kill you," right in her face. She told jurors she was likely on cocaine at the time, which she said gave her the false confidence to brush off his threat. Heavy drug use. The witness admitted that she and Ventura had a serious drug habit together. She testified that she sold Ventura prescription pills, cocaine, and ketamine regularly. She also said that Combs himself had given her drugs a few times, and that she had seen Combs use drugs on multiple occasions. These details painted a picture of a chaotic and dangerous environment. Bongolan characterized Combs as unpredictable and intimidating. As CNN summarizes, she testified she was scared of Puff after these encounters. The jury heard that, in addition to the extreme violence of the balcony incident, Combs allegedly menaced women with weapons and poisoned the atmosphere with drugs. After the emotional testimony, Combs' defense team moved to undercut Bongolan's credibility. They highlighted inconsistencies between her story and others. For instance, they noted that Cassie Ventura's own lawsuit states the balcony incident happened at a hotel with a different person present, not at Ventura's apartment, as Bongolan testified. Under questioning, Bongolan frequently replied that she didn't remember the exact details. The defense pressed her. "Isn't it true that just 2 days ago you told the prosecution you just don't recall the details of the balcony allegation?" As CNN reports, Bongolan's answer was simply, "I don't remember." She repeated that response again when asked why her account had changed. The defense emphasized that Bongolan's recollection differed from what she allegedly told prosecutors or Ventura. Each time inconsistencies were pointed out, she maintained she could not recall, even acknowledging she had given vague or contradictory information in the past. The back and forth became tense, but Bongolan stood firm under oath. Regardless of the cross-examination, the jury has now heard her account in full, a narrative of violence, fear, and confusion. The defense will undoubtedly use these memory gaps to sow doubt, but the prosecution hopes that the core of her testimony, the violent balcony assault, still rings true. After a long day in court, that concluded the primary testimony on Wednesday. CNN notes that Brian Bongolan is expected to return to the stand for further questioning on Thursday at 11 a.m. Meanwhile, prosecutors are preparing to call another key witness in the near future. They revealed that an accuser identified only as Jane, referred to in court as Victim 2, is expected to testify later this week. Jane's testimony is anticipated to continue into next week, making her next in the lineup of women alleging abuse by Combs. In sum, Wednesday's proceedings added explosive allegations to the trial record. Forensic evidence was confirmed as authentic, and a heart-stopping eyewitness account was laid out in detail. The courtroom saga is far from over. More witnesses and evidence are on the way. Viewers should stay tuned as this high-profile trial continues, uncovering one shocking claim after another in the case of Sean Diddy Combs.